here with Robbin Kelley, who is the cemetery administrator for Harwich, and I'm also here with Karen Young, who is a cemetery commissioner. And they are here to help fill in some important facts about the upcoming article, which is going to be brought up at the town meeting. And so there are two articles, actually, I believe. It's Article 58 and 59. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know it has to do with the pet cemetery.
That's correct.
That you've been working very hard on.
Pet burial ground.
Pet burial ground. Thank you. And I'd like to know a little bit about what your aim was in trying to establish this.
Okay. So we decided to do the pet burial ground because a lot of people wanted to bury their pets in their lots. And rules and regulations, it's forbidden. And in Massachusetts state law, you can't bury pets in cemeteries. That's why this is called the burial ground.
Okay, I see. Okay. All right, great. And what is it that you hope to accomplish with this? Is it going to be something that is, I know many people are concerned about their taxes going up as a result of this. I have read some things in the paper about it. And I'm wondering, what is the situation with the finances regarding this?
Well, first we have to create a revolving account. And with the revolving account, all the pet owners will be paying for the lots. It'll go into the revolving account, and that revolving account then will be able to finish the pet burial ground. So there won't be any tax burden on the taxpayers. It's going to come from the sale of lots from the pet owners and the interment fees from the people when they inter their pets at the pet burial ground.
I see. Okay. Yes. So, Karen, could you tell me what the Cemetery Commission has done with regard to this? What is the role of the Cemetery Commission?
The role of the Cemetery Commission really is to support the cemetery administrator, or not. We are all, and I do speak for the whole Cemetery Commission, are in favor of the project. I don't want to go into it too much, but I was not a cemetery commissioner in 2016 when this came up at town meeting, the transfer of the land. But I did vote in favor of it. And I will say that the reason I voted in favor of it was that the land was taken, and I think this came up at town meeting. It was taken by Eminent Domain back in the late 90s specifically for municipal use and open space. And I personally, and I am speaking personally, felt at that town meeting that it was a legitimate use, a municipal use, and also a way to keep some open space on Queen Anne Road. And I thought that a pet burial ground with the flat stones and natural landscaping would be a good addition for Queen Anne Road. So that was my personal reason for voting for it. I think it's a good project. It's a new project, and any new project has its supporters and non-supporters. And I think that's what's happened here. And I understand that taxpayers have a concern about their tax bills. And I feel that this project is going to be self-supporting, that it's going to take some time, but that it's going to be self-supporting.
Okay. So there's been a demonstrated need
Yes.
by many people, apparently, to have a place where they can bury their pets and also to come and visit the pets. And can you explain the connection with the Arboretum that you have been working on?
Well, there are two separate projects. The Arboretum is Article number 32, and that is to create mapping software for the cemeteries. And for the Arboretum Project and location of all the trees that are in Island Pond. We're working with the Monomoy Regional School District and Cape Cod Regional Tech, Cape Cod Cooperative Extension, the Conservation Trust. we're all partnering to make the Arboretum Project. So that's a completely different issue from the burial ground.
And it will not be on the burial grounds, the Arboretum part?
No.
That's a separate space?
Completely separate, yeah.
So then I understand that there have been possibilities of selling the land from the town, to sell the land a number of times, and apparently town meeting has voted that down. Is that correct?
That is my understanding.
Yeah, so I know that in 2006, 2007, and I don't remember the other year, it did go before town meeting to sell this parcel, as well as a couple of the other parcels that the town owns on Queen Anne Road. And this one was pulled out because of, I believe, the language that was original intent was. There is a couple parcels that the town does own on Queen Anne Road that were just taken by eminent domain that they could probably sell if they wanted to sell one of the parcels.
Okay.
Another question that has risen, people are concerned about the costs. And I actually did get documentation from Lincoln Hooper, and I don't know if we can show that slide. So, so the costs for the maintenance and everyday yearly activities for this annual costs, I guess, for the burial ground. So we have water at Evergreen Cemetery, and has the exact same well system that we put in at it's already installed at the pet burial ground. So the actual water bills for the entire last year for Evergreen, which has spigots as well as sprinkler heads, was $323 pretty much. So we estimate it's about $300 a year for water at the pet burial ground, which does not have a sprinkler system. And Evergreen was 7 acres, so it'll be definitely less than 300. Link actually gave us a very comprehensive breakdown on mowing, estimated about how, all the parts that go into that, the labor for all of the guys to mow it 3 hours a week, and cleanups and everything else, and he estimates it's $4,186. Then we also have miscellaneous supplies that you would have to, we're going to have pet waste systems because people will be walking their pets. And we don't want them to leave any mess on the grounds. And in lot markers to mark out the new grave spaces, it's about $1,500. So the yearly cost to operate the entire pet burial ground is $5,986. And I have to thank Carol Coppola for that. She sat down with me. We went through all of the different parts of the how much it would cost to do the maintenance for the year, and she made sure everything was included in that. Also, I don't know if we could show the slide of the actual burial ground as it sits right now. Pretty much everything is done. We have the outline markings for where the pathways will be going in. These pathways are going to be handicap accessible. We want people to know that this is a place where we want everyone to visit, and whether you're in a walker or a wheelchair, you'll be able to easily walk down these pathways and have a little park type area.
Well, it sounds like you've really thought it through very comprehensively, and I understand that the costs that you cited there that Link had provided are all going to be covered by the
Sale of lots.
Sale of lots.
Correct. So
that is not going to be an impact on the general populace in Harwich.
That is correct.
Okay. All right. So is there anything you would like to finally say about the Arboretum? I know that is a different project entirely.
Yes, it is.
Just what we're asking for.
Yeah. So we had set aside funds, the cemetery commissioners, in preparation. We have been looking to do online mapping for the cemeteries. I don't know that people really realize how many people ask us for information about where people are buried. They come here from Connecticut. I'm here for 2 days. I need to find my grandparents or whatever. This software will give them the ability out in the field to type in somebody's name and actually be able to go directly to the grave space.
That would be a real service.
It would be a great service.
I believe, because there are so many people who connect with the Cape and aren't necessarily living here, but really would like to be able
Correct. And even if you had
their
gone to a
relatives.
funeral
Yes.
and you know, it was a year ago and you can't remember where the actual burial space is, it's anybody that's indexed in the cemetery. But as well as that, we'll have the different gardens. We worked with Amy Uzowski and the AmeriCorps. We planted a beautiful butterfly garden at the entrance. And all of the different gardens will be on the Arboretum mapping software. And we planted trees just this week. So if anyone wants to go into Island Pond this week and take a look at, we had a hackberry, hedge maples, golden rain, red dawnwood, ginkgo trees. So I mean, it is really shaping into a
It's
beautiful.
an exciting project. And
Yes.
would you like to mention the historic aspect of it just a little bit?
So the Island Pond is one of the oldest cemeteries on the Cape, so it has a lot of history there, and we'll be doing the history of a lot of the prominent residents, I call them, that are actually in the cemetery. You know, one of the ministers, so we have a lot of women who are authors or, you know, World War II veterans, and there's a lot of history that's involved within cemeteries that I think is very underutilized in the town, and I think a lot of people will get a lot of enjoyment on going on tours themselves. And you know, they can do these self-guided tours with this software anytime they want. So I think it's convenient for people on the weekends, or if they have some free time to go in there and use it. I think it's going to be fantastic.
Well, it's wonderful.
Very excited about that project.
Sounds like there's lots of groundbreaking work being done at the cemetery administration and commission.
Well,
And,
these projects have been going on for years and years and years.
Yes.
They just all seem to be coming together at one particular point. But it's been a lot of support from a lot of people in the community on all these different projects that we're doing. So I would like to thank all of our supporters.
So it really should be enhancing our quality of life here.
Yes, I think so.
Thank you so much for coming in to clarify some things, and I certainly hope that many people will be coming out to the town meeting on May 6th and 7th to vote on these and many other articles. Thanks so much,
Thank you,
Karen.
Dinah.
Thank you,
and
Dinah.
Robbin.
Yeah.
Yeah.